My name is Angel Diaz. I'm 32 years old. I've been blessed with an amazing wife and two wonderful children. I've got a 4-year-old son named Luke and a 2-year-old daughter named Kennedy. My family and I live in Texas, but we're actually originally from Florida. And yeah, family to us is everything. You know, it's all about our kids and it's all about our family. I've been overweight my entire life, ever since I was a little kid. And you know, over the years, I packed on the weight, and the highest weight that I actually ever was 405 pounds, and I weighed 405 pounds February 5th of 2018. So last February I started a weight loss journey and completely changed my diet, and I basically went cold turkey on any bad food whatsoever. So my diet was pretty simple. I focused on 3 key things. First one was staying under 1,500 calories per day. The second thing was eliminating all added sugars and all artificial sweeteners, or as much as possible. And the third thing was I focused on eating more protein than anything else. So I wanted 40% proteins, 30% carbs, and 30% fats for my macros. But my diet, again, I just focused on the same foods every single day. So for breakfast I'd have some sort of egg, and then for lunch I was looking at chicken and rice for a while, and then eventually I eliminated the rice and just did chicken and broccoli, and that was pretty much the staple for me. Dinner would be the same exact thing, right? The same thing I eat for lunch. So chicken and rice for a while, or then chicken and broccoli. And then for snacks, you know, throughout the day, because I would eat at certain meal times. I always ate at the same times every single day, and that really helped me stay on track. But for snacks, I would have like a Greek yogurt, or a Kind bar, or some sort of granola bar, or some almonds. Just some healthy options that weren't full of sugar, weren't full of just chemicals and things that served a purpose for my body. At the end of the day, my diet was based on what would fuel my body. It wasn't about taste and worried about what tasted good anymore. It was really what was best for my body, what was going to fuel my body and allow me to lose weight. And so that was basically my diet, and I did that every single day for the last 365 plus days. And that's been my focus, and that's been the key to losing weight. So what really sparked my weight loss journey about a year ago was actually a group text message, believe it or not. I've got a pretty close group of friends going all the way back to middle school. We communicate daily in a group text, about everything, about football, sports, and just life in general. But one text message that came across last year from a friend of mine really caught my eye. And the text message read something along the lines of, hey, when are you looking or are you thinking about having bariatric surgery? And it really came out of the blue. It's not like we were having a discussion about my weight or anything like that at the time. I remember reading it and thinking, why in the world is he over there thinking about my weight right now? It really caught me off guard. And and obviously I've known my whole life that I've had a problem with my weight. I've had a problem with food addiction. It's just one of those things that I know it's there, and I don't think I can do anything about it, right? So I just kind of avoid it. And I couldn't really avoid it anymore after that text message. And I thought about the comment, and I thought about bariatric surgery, and realistically, I don't want to have bariatric surgery, and that's what I told them. At the end of the day, I don't want to have surgery. I don't want to have to worry about any sort of long-term risk or anything like that. But what I did realize was, at 31 years old at the time, I can't continue living life at 405 pounds. It just doesn't work that way. Eventually, it's going to catch up to me, and something really bad is going to happen. So that being said, we kind of came up with the bet, and the bet was basically I had 1 year to lose 100 pounds, which would prove that I was capable of losing the weight myself via diet and exercise. And if I lost 100 pounds in a year, then I didn't have to have any sort of bariatric surgery or anything like that. But if I didn't, I would have to make an appointment and have a consultation with a bariatric surgeon. So that was the bet, and that's what really sparked off my year-long journey to losing the weight. So the first few weeks on my new diet actually was pretty easy, and I say that because I was just extremely motivated. I didn't want to have surgery, and I knew I had to make a change, and this was basically it. All eyes were on me, my friends were watching, it was kind of me against the world. And in the back of my mind I thought that, you know what, I bet no one believes that I can do this. So I was really motivated, and it was really easy for me to change my diet, and I was just in the zone, probably the best way to describe it. But when it came to actually training, it was a little bit of a different story, because I remember the first time I started going running, and I think I ended up running 0.19 miles, and I was completely out of breath, and I thought I was about to die. But you know what, the next day I got out there again and I ran a little bit further, and the next day I ran a little bit further, and so forth. And so finally, a couple months later, I got a gym membership, which was a little scary for me, being my size, afraid of people looking at you, staring at you, making comments. But by that point I'd lost some weight already, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. And so, it was the next step. It was the next step to get to where I wanted to go. And once the anxiety kind of went away, then I really have kind of fallen in love with strength training and with exercising, and I'm in the gym way too much these days. So this actually is not the first time that I've lost a lot of weight. When I was 18 years old, again, I've been overweight my entire life, but when I was 18, I was up to 325 pounds, and there was a small window of time where I actually was kind of a normal size, because when I was 18 in January of 2005, I started on a weight loss journey because someone had made a comment about my weight, and I decided to do something about it. So I lost 125 pounds in 6 months back in 2005, and again, completely changed my life. I focused on clean foods, and basically the same thing I did this go around. I did it for 6 months though, instead of a year, and I made significant changes and lost 125 pounds. The problem was, soon after that, I met my current wife, girlfriend at the time, and it was really easy to not work out anymore and go to restaurants and go on dates and go get ice cream, and before you know it, the weight just starts piling back on, and it never stopped until just this past year. So I really didn't have many rough periods where I couldn't be bothered, during this journey. I will say though, as I kind of progressed and as I got more motivated and more involved with it, it started consuming my life to the point where I felt like I was probably annoying people just talking about it too much, and just being all about it. And my whole life revolved around the food that I was putting in my body, the workout I was going to do for that day. And so I had to catch myself and really had to make an effort to try to leave that part of me at home and not bring it up all the time. Everyone knew I was on a diet, everyone knew what I was trying to do. They didn't need to hear about it 24/7. So that was a little bit of a challenge for me personally. Although initially the whole weight loss journey was kind of sparked by that group text message and the whole bet, it really wasn't the motivation for me throughout this weight loss journey. My true motivation was my family, my 2 kids, my wife. Just the thought of not being there to see my kids grow up, or not seeing my kids, or not being around for my wife later in life. The last thing I wanted to do was miss all of that and not be there for them. And that was a reality at 405 pounds. If I didn't do anything, there was a good chance I was not going to be around for them. So that was my driving force. That's why every single day I ate the same food over and over, and every single night I was going to the gym or out running. And in the back of my mind, it was I got to do it for myself, but also for my family. More importantly to me, anyways. Was my kids and my wife. So it's been a little over a year and just a couple days actually. And again, I started at 405 pounds, and as of this morning I weighed 214 pounds, so I've lost 191 pounds in just a couple days over a year. So a significant amount of weight, and it took a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and a lot of commitment to get it done. So after losing 191 pounds, it's pretty hard to put into words to really explain exactly how I feel, but amazing might be a good place to start, I guess. You know, physically I have all this energy that I did not have before. You know, it's easier for me to just move around, less aches and pains, and you know, and the physical thing is easy to see, right? You know, I basically lost an entire person. What some people don't see, or what most people don't see, really is the mental side, though. And for me, that's might even be a bigger change than the physical side. My mentality before as an obese person was, you know, I was a very negative person, almost, you know, hated the world in a way. You know, I had all this anxiety, felt like everyone was looking at me, judging me, and I had a chip on my shoulder my whole life because of it. And now, just the amount of freedom that I feel that I have, I can't even put it into words, but it's just, you know, it's like a weight off my shoulders, and I'm positive, and I wake up happy, I go to sleep happy, and, you know, the way I interact with people, the way I'm a better father, the way I'm a better husband, I mean, it has affected every aspect of my life, not just physically, not just what you see, you know, on the camera, but in my mind as well. And that's something maybe I wasn't quite prepared for, but I am grateful for sure. So it's been over a year now on this weight loss journey, and I can definitely tell you that I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon. I'm going to tweak things up and change things and focus more on building muscle versus losing fat and losing weight, but I'm still more motivated than ever. I still want to go work out every single day. I still want to eat very healthy. I will increase the calories to support the extra exercise and the extra weightlifting and everything you know, that's needed to build muscle. But this is a lifestyle change for me. You know, I want this to be long term, and it's basically my new way of life, my new hobby, and my new interest. So I'm not planning on stopping anytime soon and going to my old habits and my old eating habits by any means. So for anyone that's out there that's looking to lose any amount of weight, whether it's say 5 pounds or 500 pounds, I think the biggest piece of advice that I could give you is to really focus on your mindset. You know, when people think weight loss, they think food, diet, they think all the hard work in the gym and the physical activity. And don't get me wrong, that all is a huge component of it, but I think the driving force for all that is your mindset. If you're not motivated, you're not going to accomplish those things, right? So you really have to, you know, train your mind, and your body will follow. And that's something that I keep finding myself telling people, you know, when they ask for advice. You know, train your mind, your body will follow. You know, the body, the physical stuff, the exercise, the nutrition, if you're motivated and your mind's right, that's the easy part. It's staying motivated every single day, no matter what, to eat right and to exercise. So I really suggest find, you know, YouTube videos that are positive, that help motivate you, podcasts, music, you know, surround yourself with good people, and just keep that motivation burning every single day. So really train your mind, and then let everything else fall in place. So that's the best advice I could give.